Yes, I am here again with another word on the curve. And the word is that the Real Housewives of Potomac recap, fanning the flames. Well, it's on fire, and I have the details. But before we go into all that, let's do what we do naturally. Let's please like, please subscribe, share. Comments keep me motivated. And if you are already a Spicer, please hit that notification bell so you can be alerted when I upload new content. And without further ado, let's get started. Now, you know what? Every word on the curve it involves an article. This information is brought to us by Vulture, and it is authored by Shamara Abraham on November the 6th, 2022. And it reads like this. If memory serves me correctly, Ashley has not been welcome in the Bassett household since Candiace put her out in season 4 after Ashley told her not to ruin her mama's table in the house that Mama Dorothy held the deed to. So Ashley, crossing the threshold of Candiace's $1 million marital estate the same day the news of her separation from Michael went public, is a fairly significant development, I must say. It's a shame that this hard-earned progress won't last so much as an episode, but we can cherish it while it's here. Okay. Let's continue. The show has crafted these sort of binary arcs to follow and develop beyond the major storylines for the season, which of course seems to be the drama being stirred up around Chris and Candiace. There is Giselle and Karen, right? You see them there on the screen as the titans of the show. Then there's Robin versus Wendy as the petty grudge that refuses to extinguish itself. Then here come Mia and what's her name? Jacqueline. Hold on, let me find it. Yeah, Mia and Jacqueline as the besties turned enemies. Then there's Candiace. Let me catch this up. Then there's Candiace and Ashley, riding the thin line between love and hate. And then let's not forget Charisse. Let's just get down here to her. Let's not forget Charisse. Charisse is just there, offering peanut gallery commentary and reminding us that she was the one the show was originally supposed to be built around. Isn't that something? Moving on. Regardless, Ashley's time with Candiace is interesting for several reasons. First, it reveals that her and Michael are in a tense place because he is not taking kindly to being pillowed in the public square, a circumstance that Giselle is sympathetic to as someone, co-parenting with a man who repeatedly embarrasses her and her family. I can appreciate that. But where I stop short is when both women repeatedly insist that their partners are still good men despite their irredeemable actions. While you may have forgiven them, you cannot dictate when the audience will absolve individuals of what they have seen with their own two eyes, particularly when the men in question refuses to accept culpability. That's culpability. Seriously, when Ashley began to drone, on about how she is struggling with dating eligible athletes because she is, quote, going to compare anyone to Michael, end quote. My eyes rolled so far back. Now, this is the author. My eyes rolled so far back into my head that I worried my contacts would get stuck. Now, next, on Candiace end, she discloses to Ashley that Chris is no longer comfortable around the cast and that the stress of all the recent rumors has aggravated her enough that she has canceled IVF. And that's sad. What's most interesting is how candid the two are about how Giselle has schemed and planned around other cast members for years. A tacit acknowledgement of the planted rumor around Monique and Chris, Wendy, Eddie, and even Robin back in the early season when Juan was still, persona non grata, whatever that means. And presumably now Candiace and Chris. Okay? Candiace and Chris. Don't worry. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, that makes it even more frustrating that Ashley would suggest Chris apologize to appease a situation and further enable this behavior for yet another season. But also extremely confounding that the duo would then divert to rumor mongering around Karen's marriage when both of them have claimed, to be frustrated about misrepresentations over their partners, especially Candiace. I'm assuming Candiace thinks it is fair game because the rumor is about Karen and not Ray. But it's the same level of target gossiping about each other's marriage for the sake of amusement, with no sense of boundaries or considerations for what the Hugers may have come to terms with privately. Meanwhile, Robin goes to see a lawyer about a potential prenup. I have generally, if you check out your screen, I have generally accepted that Mrs. Dixon, and this is the author, Mrs. Dixon is dedicated to giving us martial couture. But ya Allah, okay, this is her. What in the coyote ugly is going on with her hair? She must have gotten her extensions and highlights done by the same person who gave Giselle her first abomination of a confessional look. Now that's the author, it's not me. Thankfully, Giselle's second yellow look is a mock improvement. Although the wig is still giving shake and go, and the top is a bit ill-fitted at the bust. We'll take what we can, I guess. I am genuinely happy, again, and this is the author, I am genuinely happy that Robin seems to have some coins in the bank. But I truly do not understand all the hemming and hawing about what happened that led to the demise of Dixon's marriage the first time around. For those who don't know sports, Juan used to be a legitimate DMV area legend in his college basketball heydays. Played for the Washington Wizards for several seasons and had access to a lifestyle that he does not now. If it is that uncomfortable for them to be honest about how that success got to his head and impacted their marriage, then they have no business getting remarried. Every time Robin alludes to it, Juan acts like she said Candyman 4 times. It is extremely immature. Speaking of immaturity, let's go here. Wendy gets this cockamamie idea. Now, this is the author. She gets this cockamamie idea in her head that was almost certainly suggested to her by producers to organize a burn session, aka the annual all-cast event where the group tries and fails to air out all of their issues with the intent of moving past them. As Chris Bassett pointed out, this only works if everyone comes to the table with good intentions. And it becomes clear quite, it becomes clear quite quickly that Giselle and Robin have no intentions of doing anything of the sort. To Wendy's credit, she has accepted the criticism that her behavior can come off condescending and holier than thou. Now, for me, that is not the big issue. All other women can performatively condescending in their own way at times. I think the issue is more about the women feeling insecure over the fact that Wendy is maximizing the opportunities afforded to her. Wendy can just be a bit corny and stilted. And according to a recent interview with Carlos King, part of that is because she has been trying to figure herself out after spending her life dutifully fulfilling the role of the Nigerian daughter, wife, and career woman. But it is not translating that well. Okay? The narrative edits have also augmented the tension between Robin and Wendy. Apparently, they had an on-screen relationship during the pandemic, and none of the concerns that surfaced last season around her changing body image were ever relayed to her off-camera. And now Robin is allegedly on a mission to ice her out by any means possible. I give all of that context because I think, and this is the author, I think it is useful, permeable to Robin's irrational burst of beige rage at the winery. Robin apparently is convinced that she not only did not appear aggressive in her confrontation with Wendy during Ashley's dance class, but that she did not need to be restrained and told to sit her ass the hell down before she embarrassed herself on national television. She is so worked up over the implication that she tried to fight her that she says, quote, please be careful in your words because that is dangerous, end quote, which is just capital I for ironic for someone who is long-standing besties with Giselle. Quote, word on the street, Brian. She can call Charisse and her terrifying boob job for backup all she wants and have Giselle gang up on screaming down Wendy all she wants. But she is the only one who ends up looking like a fool here, stomping out to the Sprinter van with nothing but a mean girl attitude and weird tropes about thug behavior. Never one to be outdone. Let me go back here. Never want to be outdone. I believe that's this one. Give me a moment. Let me pull up it right. I think it's this one. This one right here. Okay. Never to be outdone. Ashley fills the void by bringing up allegations by a friend of hers who claims that Chris was flirty with her at the spring fling, placing Candiace immediately. Placing Candiace immediately on the defensive. According to her, these claims were revealed to her after her one-on-one time with Candiace, but her tone with Candiace, smugly asking, quote, it don't feel good, right, end quote, certainly raises alarm bells. Now, I don't like this for, now this is the author. Now, I don't like this for a few reasons. One, we are now conflating hitting on people, making passes with an inappropriate crossing of boundaries that implies violating consent. Two, I really don't need another season of Potomac to be a referendum on a husband's behavior. Three, I will not pretend that I personally believe any of these husbands are of such strong moral fiber that they are above anything resembling infidelity. The way that the cast is stacking the deck and vaguely, laying it out without proof is setting us up to, reflexively defend the men involved in the story as victims of catty women. This drama is veering into very messy territory for so many reasons, and I need us all to eject quickly and move right on to why the hell Mia throws a drink on Wendy in Miami. Okay. Now, Candiace's sisters having no Candiace's sisters having no clue who Trina is legitimately made me feel old as HLL. So let's just pass that because I don't like the language. Every segment, okay, so let's see this. Every segment of Giselle fussing over her kids leave me warm and fuzzy. It is the best part of her I would genuinely want watch. A limited run special, right, of Giselle and her daughters. I would too. Maybe they could feature her getting her oldest ready for college. She certainly could use the image repair right now. Bravo. If you use this idea, run me 5% of the revenue, please. And that's where I'm going to end that. So that's the end of this article, and I hope it was informative to you all. I mean, one of the longest articles I've read since I've been doing these words on the curve and everything. I'm just going through the slides here. I like to do that to go back and see and everything. Yeah, so I took my time and wanted to do a really, really good recap and give you all a real picture of the episode if you haven't seen it and everything. I am at 223 spicers. Yep, I am moving up there, and I definitely can use the 224th one. And you could be that. Just hit the notification bell. Please, I am feeling so good about things here lately. Okay, so then if you'd like to, drop a note or give me information or something, or you might want something in particular, if you don't want to comment, hit me up in my email, carlitaporter@gmail.com. And if you'd like to donate to the channel, okay, it's Carlita. It's a $ Carlita Porter, Cash App. $ Carlita Porter. Okay? So without further ado, I will see you in my next video.